Thank you very much for having me. We are Flyion. We empower business travelers to get instant refund on flight delays. And let me ask you a quick question first. Anyone travel to Puerto Rico? Raise your hand. Thank you. This is a beautiful island, isn't it? Well, this is me on the left after 2 weeks at the beach. And this is me on the right at the airport being miserable because of flight delays. I'm sure that everyone can relate to it. And hours become months when I try to get my money back with the insurance claim being terrible. Not only the travel insurance players offer a mediocre process to travelers, but they're also missing out on a bunch of missed opportunity in revenues because of non-returning customers. So what happened in the corporate space? So if you are David Wells, the CFO of Dunder Mifflin's, travel rhymes with struggle, and you hate budgeting and travel expenses, and you know that your business travel and your team are very concerned about delays and cancellation, as you can see on the screen. But fortunately, Flyion resolved for those, and we're doing 3 ways. So if you're a client of us, you maximize cost saving, up to 87% increase in delay refunds against competitor. We automate the claims. This is done same day, no question asked. And finally, you travel smart because our predictive delays analytics help you pick and choose flights with the least chance of delay. How do we do it? Well, we got a great team. We total combined of 3,000 years of experience. Just kidding, more like 120 years. We also decentralized. And finally, as you can see, we learn our skills in corporate Americas. So how do we do it? No better ways to actually show you the hard cash dollar amount that we actually bring back to the clients. And here's a comparative between traditional coverage ourselves and the difference, which is what the clients benefits in terms of how much daily refunds they can get out of our product. So now I want to address real quick elephant in the room. Newsflash: COVID changed everything, obviously, especially for travel. But we view it as a silver lining, and you can see that on the right chart. The airport delays has been flattening overall, the same way that the virus curve has been flattening. And I want to highlight 2 things. The first one, travel insurance is being front and center in everybody's mind. And second, business travel is going to be transforming, and that's with the help of technology and innovation companies such as us. So talking about markets. So our blockchain analytics and parametric model opens up for a very large market opportunity, but we started out by a niche market, which is US-centric corporate travel, which is our beachhead. And when we achieve that, we can actually scale up to niche retail and also international. Where do we make money? Well, so we differentiate ourselves by having skin in the game. So not only we're going to be licensing per transaction with our insurance and our clients, but we'll also be rewarded on performance, which is essentially the percentage of claim refunds we manage to get our clients back. So having talked about markets and revenue, here we're showing the projection for the next 10 years. So we started up as a SaaS software product, and at the year mark 3, we'll be able to go past COVID and also become an insurance MGA and multiply our gross margin revenue. So in terms of our strategy, main focus is B2B enterprise, and we work with mid-market CFO, procurement manager, GPOs, and OTAs. And we actually doing a lot of daily grind in terms of LinkedIn, VGen, and working on network. How do we stack up with the competition? Well, we identified 2 risk assumptions: simplicity and intelligence. Flyion check all the boxes. On the flip side of it, both the underdogs and the dinosaur, the traditional insurance, are failing to meet these objectives. So let's brag for a second. 3 things. So first one, we have a beta MVP ready to be tested. Invite everyone to check it out. We are part of the Accelerator VI startup program. It's going to help us with GTM and investor relationship. And finally, we have great footprint with the blockchain and digital asset community. And we had a blast in the Wyoming hackathon back in September. Exit strategy, because we combine automation, analytics, and machine learning, we think there's 3 verticals: insurance, travel, and tech, that can be interested in acquiring us. Finally, 2020 has been fun for everyone. It's been very fun for us, and we're starting the very even more fun process of fundraising. And our target raise is 1.75. And with that, we can deliver what we call a premium platform, which is all the standard features of the MVP plus bonus capability in terms of having a data scientist, full-time, modular blockchain, advanced UX, and mobility. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to check us out online and social media.
Awesome. Right on time. All right, perfect. Thank you, Yann. That was amazing. Let's get into the judges Q&A here real quick. And just a reminder to judges, you guys all have your own tabs on that Google Sheet too, by the way, to do the scoring. And yeah, whoever wants to kick it off, go for it.
Hey, Yann, this is Megan.
Hi.
I was just going to ask about competition. I've seen a couple companies doing this, at least on the direct-to-consumer side. So I think you understand there's a lot of incumbents in the market, and it's a difficult industry to try to go up against. How are you thinking about, pricing? How have you validated that thus far to kind of differentiate yourself against this competition?
Yeah, it's a very good question. As I said, B2C is a small segment. We're not going to be spending a ton of time on it. I think we have a better value prop for enterprise, right? And now where we're testing the water in terms of pricing and how much we can get back, the money to the clients, is essentially, this diagram here. Here we can essentially refund 9 to 10 times more than our competition with literally no admin costs. So operation costs just compresses to zero. And for that reason, we're slightly more expensive on the premium side, but the net value is tremendous. And then I've been showing that to GPOs, corporate CFOs, and revenue manager. They like the value. They like the cash amount back in their pockets. That's the feedback that I have.
Yann, what kind of haircut have you made in your assumptions for B2B market penetration post-COVID, right? We know that a portion of, enterprise travel and corporate travel will continue, but a large portion of it may never come back, and corporates won't have the willingness to pay. So how does that affect your sort of growth and break-even analysis here?
Yeah, so I think the common understanding about haircuts is about 40%, right? So players in the industry are thinking about the 60% capacity January 1st on travel altogether. Now, business travel, as you said, is probably going to be well off because traveling for investor, client meeting, and so forth is going to be necessary. But I think there's also one component that we should not forget, which is consumer revenge vacation, right? So a lot of people are going to be rushing to actually compensate for those 6 months that we're getting through in our projects department and whatnot. And people want to travel as much as possible. So COVID safety measures are repellent, but people willingness to actually go back to travel are going to be kind of compensating for that. So that being said, 2021 should be in the 60% capacity from a year ago.
Yann, looks like you have a pretty top-heavy team. How do you look to keep your team financed and through your growth? And what type of raise are you expecting to do to get yourself off the ground?
Okay, so right now we're bootstrapping, right? So we pre-seed per the criteria of Entre. And then the capital raise is what I was showing here. So this is, 1.75 is a 2-year runway. Obviously, the founding team is going to be paid a very small amount, just the marginal amount. Most of it is going to go to, platform development, so blockchain, full stack, DevOps, analytics, and machine learning. And obviously, part of it is going to be marketing, GTM, right? But, having said that, we have the scenario 2, which is the MVP, where we can take off the ground without having the extra features, but we think we can operate for 2 years and having a great product for our clients.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you approached at all SAP IO or SAP? They bought Concur. And it looks like this might be a viable add-on to an existing enterprise, T&E or travel management system within corporates rather than a standalone product.
Yeah, that's right. Integrations probably phase 2 for us. SAP Concur, Trip Action. Actually, if anything, they're more the innovator in the field. Definitely on the roadmap. I reached out to the CEO a few times. It's been in the work. I would appreciate any intro if you guys know anyone at Trip Action or SAP. But that's definitely something we want because at first we'll be integrating just, let's say, an Excel, let's say dump export that we can analyze and process the data and the execution. But at the end of the day, we want to connect to GDS, TMC, or the travel management system that matters for those corporates. You're absolutely right.
Okay, great.